Chosen one. Recently, you took a step that seemed very small. Yet that very moment opened something that had been kept hidden in the unseen realm. I am Michael, sent to remind you with kindness that not every great movement begins with a loud sound. There are times when you only think you are trying to get through a difficult day, trying to stay calm a little longer, trying not to return to what wounded you, or trying to choose faith when everything around you still shows no sign of change. But beloved child, heaven saw that step. What you called small carried the weight of quiet obedience. And that very obedience touched a door that had long been prepared. You may not have heard anything, felt any shaking, or seen your circumstances change immediately before your eyes. But in the secret place, an unlocking took place. There are things that had been arranged, connected, and preserved until the exact moment when you decided not to remain still anymore. That step did not need to be perfect. It only needed to be sincere. Perhaps you released a fear, left an old habit, whispered a very quiet prayer, or chose to keep moving forward, though your heart was still trembling. That very action proved that you are no longer completely controlled by the past as you once were. I want you to understand that heaven does not despise quiet choices. Human beings often wait for a radiant victory before believing that something has changed. But God records the moment when you choose light, while no one knows. There are doors that do not open because of a loud shout, but because of a heart willing to soften. There are blessings that do not come after a spectacular action, but after a very hidden decision not to give up, not to answer with bitterness, not to lower yourself, and not to return to the place that stole your peace. Therefore, do not look down on the step you recently took. No matter how small it seems in your eyes, it has become a sign that you are ready for a new shift in rhythm. What has opened may not appear clearly today, but it is beginning to arrange the path, the people, the timing, and the opportunities around your life. Keep walking in purity, slowly but steadily. I stand near you to remind you that what you do not hear may still be moving. What you have not yet seen may still be drawing near. And your small step has been used by heaven as the key that begins a new season filled with light. Your 10-year journey has reached its completion. And the moment you crossed that threshold, a long season of waiting officially came to a close. My beloved child, I, Michael, draw near to you in kindness and protection to remind you that those 10 years were not merely time passing on a calendar. They were 10 years of shaping, 10 years of quiet tests, 10 years of delays that made you wonder many times whether you had been forgotten. But I say to you with certainty, none of it was meaningless. The days that seemed silent forged endurance within you. The doors that seemed tightly shut taught you discernment. The pauses that seemed like obstacles were actually preparing you for something greater than you once imagined. Right now, you need to understand clearly that the waiting no longer continues in the old way. The season of standing outside the door has ended. You have crossed a boundary your eyes may not yet see, passed through an opening you once thought was still locked. Your outward circumstances may not change immediately, and the people around you may not yet notice anything different. But within the order of heaven, a movement has been activated. You are no longer standing on the old side of the promise. You are no longer only looking toward the future with distant hope. You have been brought into the beginning place of fulfillment. What is on the other side of that door is not small. So you need to enter with wakefulness. I do not want you to miss the signs simply because they come more gently than you expected. Some evidence will appear in very ordinary forms: a meeting at the right time, an unexpected invitation, a peace returning to your heart, an opportunity once delayed beginning to open, or a new clarity that lets you know which way to turn. If you do not understand that a new season has been set in motion, you may walk past those signs and think they are only small matters. So remain with me in peace. This message has not come to you by accident. It was sent to help you recognize where you are standing in your journey. You are no longer someone simply trying to endure one more day. You are becoming someone who steps out of 10 years of preparation with steadiness, discernment, and restored dignity. Open your eyes to what heaven is placing along your path. Guard your heart from impatience, from doubt, and from returning to the old way of thinking. What has been activated will not be small, and you will begin to recognize that those long years did not bury you. They prepared you to cross the door at the right time, in the right season, and in alignment with what God has preserved for you. Before you go any further, I want to make it clear to you that today's message is not only a passing reminder, but a journey being opened layer by layer so you may understand what heaven is doing in your life. Beloved child, I, Archangel Michael, will lead you through 4 layers of understanding, and each layer will open wider than the one before it, like light gradually spreading through a room once covered by darkness. In the beginning, you will look back at the years that have passed, no longer with regret, but with a deeper understanding of what they have formed within you. What you thought was merely waiting, enduring, loss, or delay was actually quietly creating a foundation that the natural eye could not fully see. Then, as you continue to remain, I will help you recognize why your recent step was unlike any step before it. There are actions that look very small outwardly, but in the unseen realm they mark a great shift, a peaceful decision, a moment when you chose not to return to the old path, an instant when you stood on the side of light instead of the habit of fear. All of these can become the turning point of an entire season. You need to understand this, because otherwise you may underestimate the very maturity God has patiently built within you. After that, I will show you what is moving toward you, even though it has not yet fully appeared. Not every blessing arrives immediately in the form you expected. There are things that are first arranged in silence, placed in their proper position, prepared through the right person, the right door, and the right time. Yet at the same time, you also need to recognize the old patterns that often appear after a great awakening: distraction, doubt, impatience, or the habit of making yourself small. These things do not come loudly. They often quietly pull you back to the place you have just been led out of. Therefore, these parts are not separate from one another. Each part is a piece of a larger picture, and only when you remain long enough will you see them joining into complete clarity. If you hear only one section and rush to a conclusion, you may misunderstand what is being opened. I do not want you to carry half a truth and then walk away in confusion. I want you to receive the fullness of the guidance, so you may understand how the past 10 years prepared you, why this present moment matters, what is drawing near, what you must be watchful of, and how all of it is saying that you truly are being preserved, guided, and called to step into a new season in peace. Now, I want to begin where we must begin. Beloved child, not with the things that are about to be given, but with the heavy road you have walked through in silence. I, Michael, stand near you to remind you that this past is not merely the background behind your story. It is evidence of why this revelation is finding you at the right time. What you have endured is not a set of meaningless fragments. They are the marks of a long journey, where you carried a burden not easy to name. Something that did not become lighter simply because time passed, but grew heavier because you did not yet understand what it was being used to form within you. There were very early mornings when the whole world was still asleep, and you sat there with a weariness no one could see. There were late nights when the room was so quiet that you could hear your own loneliness. And in your heart, one question kept repeating: how much longer? How much longer before something truly moves? How much longer before the years you have tried, the times you still believed without evidence, the steps you continued to take while your heart was already breaking, finally become a result you can see, touch, and hold as confirmation that you did not wait in vain? I know that question, even when you never spoke it aloud. I know how you reassured yourself in front of others, then returned alone to thoughts that felt heavier than before. I know the times when you looked around and saw others moving forward while you seemed to remain held back in a long hallway with no open door. But hear me in peace. What you carried was not punishment, nor was it proof that you had been forgotten. There are burdens permitted to remain for a season to teach you discernment, to deepen your faith, and to separate you from shallow things that were never strong enough to support you. What is about to open within you cannot be understood if you deny the place where you once stood. It was those months and days that seemed delayed that created a quiet endurance within you. It was the long periods of waiting that taught you not to place your value in the speed of results. It was the times when you still kept your heart upright before any reward appeared that became evidence before heaven that you had grown more than you realized. So today I am not telling you to forget everything as though it never happened. I am telling you to look back with new light. What you have gone through did not come to end you, but to prepare you for a season you can enter with greater steadiness, purity, and wakefulness. The question, how much longer, is being placed into the hands of the one who knows perfect timing. Rest your heart, beloved child, because the movement began in the hidden place before it appeared before your eyes. You have passed through seasons when the silence from the high heavens lasted longer than you once thought reasonable. And in that very silence, you still learned to stand firm. Beloved child, I, Michael, have seen the days when you watched others move forward in the very areas where you still had to wait. There were people around you who seemed to receive answers faster, doors more easily, harvests sooner, while you remained there, continuing to hold on to faith while your heart had to fight countless unspoken questions. That was not easy. There were times when believing that something good was still being prepared for you felt like heavy labor, demanding every last bit of strength within you. But you did not leave your position, even without a complete explanation, even without a great sign to reassure you, even without a crowd standing around to cheer you on. You continued to walk. And recently, something important happened. It was not loud, not radiant, not like a moment the world would immediately recognize, but in the spiritual realm, it carried weight. You shifted, you made a choice, took a step, released an old thing, received a new obedience, or simply stopped resisting the guidance you had sensed for a long time. That step may have seemed very small to you, but to heaven, it opened a movement greater than you realized. I am not rushing to tell you everything that step has activated, because some truths must be opened in the right rhythm, so you not only hear them with your ears, but also recognize them through the peace within you. But I want you to pay attention to the days around that moment. Perhaps after that shift, you began to feel a strange lightness. Perhaps the things that once held you began to lose their influence. Perhaps the relationships, habits, thoughts, or fears that once ruled over you suddenly no longer held the same power. Those changes may be very quiet, easy to overlook, easy to call coincidence. But in truth, they are signs that an alignment has begun. Beloved child, not every activation from heaven comes with a loud sound. Often, it comes like a door opening slightly, an unexplainable peace, a thought becoming clear, a burden suddenly becoming lighter, or a direction you once feared but now feel able to walk toward. Do not take those small movements lightly. They are evidence that what you did in secret was not meaningless. Silence has not cancelled the promise. Waiting has not reduced your value. And your recent step has brought you closer to what the high heavens are preparing to reveal at the right time. The things quietly being formed within you have begun to appear through very small signs. And I, Michael, have come to help you recognize them in peace. There are patterns you have sensed for a long time, but did not know how to name. Inner movements that are not loud, but are deep enough to make you pause in the middle of an ordinary day and wonder why you suddenly feel different. Do not dismiss this too quickly. Not every change comes through a major event. Often, heaven prepares you through gentle waves, through new sensitivity, through the feeling that what once felt familiar no longer touches you in the same way. The first thing you may notice is that emotions come to you without warning. You may be washing a dish, walking along a familiar road, sitting quietly in an ordinary room, and suddenly a wave passes through you. Sometimes it is deep peace. Sometimes it is sadness, not attached to any specific story. And sometimes it is a conviction so strong that you almost want to speak it aloud. You once thought it was only emotional inconsistency, but I tell you that it is not. There are things that were buried deep within you because for too long you had to be strong, had to be silent, had to keep walking before you fully understood what you were carrying. Now light is touching those places so the old can be released and the new can have room to grow. Then you also begin to recognize another change. The rooms that once made you feel comfortable now feel narrow. Conversations that once satisfied you now leave you tired after only a short while. Places where you once thought you belonged now feel like a garment that has become too small for your new stature. Do not blame yourself for being difficult, cold, or distant. You are not becoming hardened, you are being refined. Something within you has grown beyond the old patterns, and your body, your perception, and your peace often recognize this before your mind can explain it. So listen to these signs with humility. Do not rush back to places that drain you simply because they were once familiar. Do not continue in conversations that weaken the light within you only because you fear others will think you have changed. Some changes are not abandonment, but maturity. Some distance is not loss, but preparation. I remind you that God does not make you more sensitive so you can live in anxiety, but so you can recognize which places still align with your purpose and which places need to be released. You are not becoming more difficult. You are becoming more ready for the new season. There is a very gentle restlessness moving beneath everything you do, as though something not yet named is finding its way into the light. Beloved child, I, Michael, want you to understand that this feeling is not disorder, nor is it baseless anxiety trying to make you weary. It is a deep knocking from within, where the mission that was placed in you long ago is beginning to awaken. There is something you want to write down, something you want to create, a word you want to speak, an image, an idea, a message that keeps returning to you even when you try to ignore it. It is like a seed that has been lying in the soil through many seasons of rain and sun, and now knows that the time has come to crack open, rise upward, and touch the sun. Do not confuse that prompting with the pressure to prove yourself. What is rising within you does not come to make you run in panic, but to draw you into purposeful creation. You may not yet have enough words to explain it, may not have a complete plan, may not know where to begin, but you can clearly feel that you cannot continue living as though nothing is calling you. I am not telling you to rush, but I am reminding you not to extinguish the calling simply because it is not yet complete. Many holy things begin as a small feeling, then grow as you remain faithful to the first step. You have also recognized very strange moments of knowing in recent times. A name suddenly appears in your mind, and not long after, that person comes to you. You step into a place and immediately sense that the atmosphere is not peaceful before any words are spoken. You sense in advance a decision, a change, an answer that is approaching, and a few days later, it truly appears. Do not quickly call these things coincidence. There is a sensitivity you once restrained because you feared being different, feared being misunderstood, feared not knowing what to do with that gift. But in this season, that gift is being awakened again, because you need it in order to step rightly, speak rightly, stop rightly, and recognize the doors truly meant for you. Even the timing around you is converging in an intentional way. The right person appears at the very moment you need confirmation. A door opens when you stop trying to force it open by your own strength. An opportunity draws near in the very week when you decided to release what no longer belongs to you. You are not imagining this arrangement. The hidden lines beneath your life are being brought into the light so you can see that everything was not as disconnected as you once thought. So, walk slowly and steadily. Beloved child, write down what is stirring within you. Pay attention to pure impressions and distinguish peace from haste. I am near to remind you that the architecture of your life is being aligned. What is within you no longer wants to remain asleep, because this season needs your voice, your gift, and your obedience. Pause here for one breath. Beloved child, because I want to acknowledge that you have remained and listened with an attentiveness that is not ordinary. I am Michael, and I see this seemingly small thing within you in a world full of voices, distractions, and things pulling your eyes elsewhere. You still chose to remain with the word being placed before you. That is not accidental. When your heart does not leave, when your attention does not dissolve into outside sounds, when you give a few minutes to be fully present, It is a sign that something within you recognizes something truly important. You do not need to do anything complicated in this moment. You do not need to strain to understand everything. You do not need to prove you are ready. And you do not need to force yourself to feel something great. Simply slow your breathing and recognize that you are here. This breath is not an exercise, but a gentle reminder that you are still being preserved, that you can still pause, that you can still listen without being swept away by the pressures surrounding you. There are things that can only be heard clearly when you are no longer rushing. There are comforts that only go deep when you allow your heart to settle down. I want you to understand that your remaining is not because you are weak, not because you are searching for a sign in vain, but because what is being spoken next is connected to you. Not despite who you are, but because of who you are. The high heavens do not overlook those who know how to stop in the middle of noise to listen to truth. There is a quiet maturity in not rushing away, not rushing to deny, not rushing to replace a sacred moment with a brief distraction. You have chosen to remain. And that choice says that within you there is still a place that wants to be guided, wants to be made clear, and wants to be lifted above the old things. Therefore, keep this presence a little longer. Do not underestimate your attentiveness, because it is opening a space for peace to enter. What is about to be spoken does not come to force you to become someone else, but to call you back to the purest, bravest, and truest part that heaven placed within you. Breathe. My child, recognize that you are not here by accident. This moment is meeting you exactly where you need to be met. And I am standing near to remind you that your listening has been recorded. If 3 or 4 of the signs just named have touched this room with you, and if your shoulders have become lighter over the past few minutes, as though they were finally allowed to acknowledge what they have been carrying, then you no longer need to keep questioning what season you are in. I am Michael, drawing near to you with kindness, to say that you have already recognized it. Your body knows. Your heart knows. The hidden part within you knows. The things mentioned did not pass over you like foreign words. They landed in the right place, touching layers you have silently lived with, but have not had language to name. You do not need one more great piece of evidence to confirm that you are in this season. The trembling within you has testified. Your stillness has testified. The way you read each word and saw yourself appearing within it has testified. But now, I want you to listen carefully. The most important thing is no longer what season you are in, but what is being formed within that season. You have spent so much time trying to understand the name of the journey that you may have forgotten. God does not place you in a season merely so you can identify it. He places you there to build something specific within you. This season is not the final destination. It is the holy workshop. It is the hidden room where the deepest parts of you are being rearranged, strengthened, purified, and prepared for an expression that will come later. Others may only see waiting, silence, change, separation, or days when you do not seem to be moving quickly. But heaven sees a work being built piece by piece. Beloved child, do not underestimate what is happening where no one sees. There are movements of God that do not begin with applause, but with quiet undoing. There are promises not handed to you immediately, because first He must build within you the capacity to hold that promise in peace. There are doors not yet opened, because inside you, preparation is still taking place so you can enter without carrying old fear with you. This season has not come only to test your endurance. It has come to form within you perseverance, discernment, stillness, courage, and tenderness with boundaries. These things do not always look radiant while they are being created, but they will become the foundation for what God entrusts to you later. So if you feel as though you are in a hidden room, where many old things are being laid down while the new has not yet fully appeared, do not panic. That is where many precious works are created. People often want quick results, clean answers, and immediate knowledge of what will happen next. But God often works more deeply than the speed you expect. He is not only concerned with where you are going, He is concerned with who you become when you arrive there. If you step into the new season while still being controlled by the old, the blessing may become a burden. If you receive great responsibility without learning how to rest in God's guidance, you may become exhausted in the very place where you were meant to flourish. That is why this slowing down is not meaningless. It is creating space for the right thing to be formed. Beneath the first recognition there is a deeper flow, and I am inviting you to step into it. You have recognized the signs, but now you need to recognize the work behind the signs. The fact that you are no longer comfortable in certain old places is not only an emotional change, it is God protecting your inner environment. The fact that your prayer has become quieter is not merely exhaustion, it is trust growing into maturity. The fact that you have dreams, nights of waking, feelings of nearness, and sorrows you cannot name is not scattered randomness. These are pieces of a pattern gradually being revealed. God is using all of it to draw you into attentiveness. Not so you will be afraid, but so you will understand that you are being prepared seriously. I know there are times when you want to skip this deeper part, because it requires you to sit with yourself, to look at what you have avoided, and to admit that some things can no longer go with you. But do not be afraid. God has not brought you into this room to make you lonely. He has brought you in to show you what has always been waiting beneath the surface. There is an answer that has been preserved in stillness. There is a direction that has been covered until you become calm enough to recognize it. There is a new version of you being formed. Not loudly, not hastily, but truly and enduringly. So, beloved child, stop only asking, "What season am I in?" Begin asking, "What is God building in me through this season?" When you ask this way, you will no longer see waiting as an empty space, but as a place with an assignment. You will no longer see silence as absence, but as room to hear more clearly. You will no longer fear the changes within you, because you understand that they are serving the release that is coming. I, Michael, I'm showing you this. This season has not come to hold you back forever, but to make you ready. And when that hidden work has fully matured, the world will only see the result. But you will know that everything was built long ago in the quiet room where God met you.